Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. Had some network issues. But I didn't miss anything this time. Yeah. Cool. So the dog that we found, did I tell you that it was like running around Big E?
No, wait, Big E's house or Big E himself?
I saw Big E.
Big E himself, the true Big E. So Willow is riding her bike with Lily, and Lily usually gets to the bottom of the hill and then kind of comes back up. Maybe she might go down a couple houses. Willow goes down to Big E's street, which is the next street over, like not far at all, and then rides up his street, turns around, and comes back. Because she learned that from me, because every time I ride my bike, that's what I do, because I'm hoping for a Big E sighting. Never do I see him. Always is his blue Mustang just sitting there. I always joke about, slamming into it on my bike or something. No, I'm not doing anything like that. So, I was working, and she's riding her bike, and she rides up Big E's street, and she sees Big E. And he's outside of his house for some reason, just beginning around, probably either going to or from his blue Mustang. And his dad is there, and she confirmed that his dad is a million. And that's where that meme came from about his dad being so old, is because we were telling Junior, and he was like, "Wait, that's his dad? I thought it was that was like his grandpa. That guy's like 1,000,000 years old." So then we're like, "Oh yeah, he's pretty old."
He was so old.
So Willow confirms.
Also, I saw Big E get out of his Mustang. Just, FYI.
So this dog like runs to Big E and like runs around his feet. And he's just like, "Get away, stupid dog." Like, she didn't hear him say anything, but he like looks down, sees this dog just running around, and he's just like, whatever, just keeps going on his business.
And now he's going to eventually see it at your house, and he's going to be like, "Wait, that's your dog?"
It is now, Big E. It could have been yours. You rejected it. Yeah, so she was still on her bike, so she was just like, "Wow, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting to see that, a stray dog harassing Big E." So she starts biking home, and the dog follows her. It follows her to our street, and Lily's there, and Lily sees Willow come riding up with the dog, and she's like, "What is that?" And next thing you know, we have a dog. And of course Big E was involved. Of course Big E is.
I knew she was looking
involved.
for Big E. I didn't know he was actually ended up being there though.
Yeah, and looked and saw the dog. Just this dirty old stray dog. So we got it microchipped today. It had no microchip, no collar, no tags. I've been checking lost and found pages. Lily even went and talked to neighbors to try to find if anyone knew, but nope. So I think it was abandoned. I think that someone moved away and just left the dog. And it's a really amazing. It was really dirty. It was starving. It was thirsty. It had been wandering the streets for days. Other neighbors had seen it but weren't able to catch it. So now it's our dog. Her name is Georgia.
Oh.
Yep. So, okay. Back to hell.
Yay.
So, let me see whose turn it was. Zoe just finished a turn. Weren't we resolving something of Zach's? What was the last thing Zoe did?
No, we just finished Harkonnen's turn because it was about to be mine.
Oh, we just started your turn. Okay, awesome. So it is your turn.
We're about to, yeah.
There's one devil left. It is bloodied, and it is starting to look far less determined. Almost like almost surrendery.
All right, I move my Hex onto it, and I cast Eldritch Blast.
Awesome. Roll attack.
14.
14 to hit. Hits. 14 damage.
Yep.
Okay.
I want to hit my second one now.
Okay. Do you want to try to knock it out, or are you intending to kill it?
Range attacks can't knock it out.
I guess I won't cast it again.
Kill it. Why the hell would we knock a devil out? Kill this shit.
I don't know, but when the GM says, "Do you want to knock it out?" I figure there's a good reason.
Okay, it falls to the ground with your blast. It falls to the ground, and now it has like this horrified look in its face, and it holds its hands up, and it's like, "Wait, please, don't kill me. I can offer you something. I can give you information." It seems scared to die.
Is initiative over, or is it still Zoe's turn?
Well, that's up to Zoe.
All right, I'll back off and not nuke it again.
Okay, so initiative order ends if you guys wish it to end. It has backed off and has ceased trying to kill you.
19 to hit, 12 damage.
To knock it out, right?
To murder it. It's dead. I'm not no mercy to devils. Not even to question them. It's dead.
No rest for the wicked.
Okay, so the devil dies.
Like no question. Like it falls to the ground. It starts begging for its life. So he goes. Her hands lower. Raxar just casually walks up and goes, and its brains or whatever ichor just splatters across the wall. And he says, "All right, moving on."
So he's like,
why were those creatures chasing you? I said, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Hold on, let me double check. Let me double check if the bearded devils knew anything that I need to have Harkina know. Just double check.
There might be some point in the future at which I change my mind and say we should capture a devil and interrogate him, but no, not in this case.
Yeah, you're probably not missing out.
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, all right. Well, bearded devil's dead. No more bearded devil. Okay. Okay. So we just ended battle. So let me collect my non-battle notes. Let me see. Okay. So, Harkina is laying on the ground, and Rhea is kneeling over her, like trying to tend to her wounds. And you ask Harkina why the devils were chasing you. So she says, thank you all so much. I owe you everything. My children and we've been hiding in the basement of an old shop, for the past couple of weeks since the city was dragged down to this terrible place. We used to.
Yep.
Still.
Yep.
Okay, I think it's stabilized. Okay, so she says that she finally ran out of supplies and she got desperate and she didn't want to, starve to death and leave her kids starving to death. So she got so desperate that she came out and started looking for food. And while they were searching, it didn't take very long before these three devils that were just kind of like marching through the streets looking for survivors to torture or capture or kill, and they saw her and started chasing her. Oh, it was the basement of a tavern.
I say, where were you expecting to find food? This town looks pretty destroyed and ruined. Are you just going to try and find a shop to loot, or what was your intention?
Well, immediately, yes, I think I was looking for a shop that might still have supplies. I think that's what most people are doing, is the survivors, at least. Many of the citizens of the city died when we were drawn down to this terrible place, and still more have died in the days since from the attacks of terrible creatures, lack of food and water, collapse of many of the buildings. But from what I've heard, this side of the city... Oh, yeah, the city has been split in two, and this side of the city, I hear, is far worse off than the other side. The other side of the city, the western half, that's where the High Hall is located, the great castle that's home to Elturel's leadership. I was planning to take my boys there, eventually, if I could make it. I know it's a dangerous journey. The High Hall is where the High Overseer, Thavius Krieg, is. He's the leader of this city, and I'm hoping that he's working on a plan to rescue other survivors and drive away the devils. So that's... Grand Duke Older Ravengard. I think he's there as well, so I was hoping to meet up with them.
I say, yeah. So we just got here, and we're kind of trying to find a nice, safe place to be, and hanging out with the Duke and the other guy that she said. Those sound like a nice. They sound like they're a nice fortified place up there. We should go. It sounds if you're trying to get there. It sounds like that's also a place we want to be. If you would be willing to guide us, we'd be more than happy to offer our protection on the way there. Of course, we can't promise anything. If you should fall in battle, we can't promise that we'd be able to bring you back or protect you, but we'll do our best, certainly, to make sure you and your children are safe. If you would guide us through the city streets with your street smart knowledge of the area.
She says, "Oh, thank you. Yes, if you would come with me and help me get my children there safely." Sorry, excuse me. I didn't cut out. Sorry, I'm still here.
No, I know.
I was just choking. Also, that's how she sounds.
Hey, that's fair.
So yeah, she'd be very happy if you guys would basically like help escort her to the High Hall. She says that if any place in this city is safe, it would be there. It looks like there's been some damage there, but you know, Thavius Krieg, he's blessed by the gods, so I'm sure that he's got some fortified defenses. She can guide you there, but she doesn't really know the city all that well. She admits, and Rhea speaks up and says that she knows the city like the back of her hand. She has every back street memorized, and she says that she could lead you guys on the fastest route to the High Hall. And Harkina says, "Well, if you think you need you to the High Hall." Oh, her son.
Okay.
Her name is Harkina Hunt, and I'm sorry, the two kids are boys. They're twin boys, Ezo and Brask. God, they just spread all of the information out, I swear.
Yeah, I know. I say,
yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, certainly since Rhea knows the city a little bit better than you do, I think she would be a better leader, but you're more than welcome to tag along with us. We'll do our best to protect you, and you're probably better off than you were before. Of course, any food we get, we'll share with you on the way there if we need to. We've got our own supplies, but who knows how long that'll last. You said the city was split, though, and Rhea might not know about that since she hasn't been here since that happened. But what do you mean it's split? Are we talking like there's a crack down the street, or are we talking like a 50-foot rift in between the two sides? How are we supposed to get over there?
She says that she doesn't know the details. She hasn't gone far out from the tavern, but from what she's heard, the only way to access either side is across one of Torm's bridges. There's two bridges in the northern half of the city. One is called Torm's Reach, and the other is called Torm's Blade. And she's heard that those are the only ways to get to the other side of the city.
Do you know which one of those is closer?
No, but they're not too far apart from each other.
Okay. Have you seen any other survivors recently? I know you said you've been in the basement and kind of hiding out. How long have you been hiding out there personally?
So, by the way, Rhea tells you that Torm's Blade is a little bit closer, but it kind of depends on which direction you go. She says that she's been hiding out for a couple of weeks in a tavern, that it was totally unexpected when the city was dragged down into hell, and her boys took refuge in a nearby tavern and went down into the basement and heard all kinds of terrible noises, and they've just been hiding down there. And they've talked to one or two survivors here and there, as she's like was peeking out, but she hasn't spoken to anyone in days.
Okay.
And then there's supplies. Right now.
And what kind of a statue do you have in this? Not statue. What kind of stature do you have in the city? Obviously, you're not like a noble or anything like that. I'm just curious what your special skill set is. Are you just a single mother, or recently widowed, or do you have a profession? Anything we should know about?
She says, "Well, I'm proficient with this longbow that was passed down by my passed down through my family. It's been in my family for generations. We always train our kids with the longbows, so I'm proficient in it. I was able to acquire this cache of silver arrows in addition to regular ones. I wouldn't say that I was poor, although I was a lot better when my husband was alive, but he died before the fall. I guess I hadn't really thought much about what I was going to be doing with him gone. We weren't any nobles or people of high stature, but we did okay for ourselves, and I thought that was the worst thing that I was going to have to worry about, is figuring out how to keep my house. But it turns out that didn't matter, because our house got destroyed in the descent. Thank the gods we weren't there. Thank Torm. Probably Torm.
Is there anything in your house that you would regret losing? Is there any way we might be able to go and get anything out of there that is worth saving?
She says no. From her house is on this side of the city, and there's not much of anything on this side of the city worth saving.
All right, so you don't think we should hang around here any longer? We should just you're of the opinion that the other side of the city is pretty much the best place to get to as soon as possible?
She says, yes. I mean, it is possible. There's probably other survivors other than me, but definitely we can't, you wouldn't want to hang around trying to find all the survivors. You die in the process, but you may have an opportunity to, save other people. But I wouldn't recommend straying far from our path, because you could just end up being another victim. One of the boys tugs at his mom's dress and looks up at her and says, Mommy, what about Shora? And she said, I told you, sweetie, there's nothing we can do for her. And he's like, but Mommy, we haven't checked. Maybe she's still alive. And she says, we need to worry about ourselves right now, sweetie. And then she looks at you. And, yes.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead, because otherwise I'm just going to talk.
Okay, you said that if we stray and try to rescue everybody, we'll die. But then when everybody we rescued died once we died, so all we're doing is going and dragging people to their deaths. Or
exactly.
Am I misunderstanding? Okay.
Yeah, we're not the rescue squad. We're not here to rescue 20,000 people and try and save them when they're hurt. The only way we can save the city is by defeating the boss and freeing them from their contract. Because even if we save them, they're stuck here. So the best we can do is get them to temporary safety and stay here. The more at risk everyone is. Up and try and save them, but we're not going to be like 9/11 sweeping the city and looking for survivors.
Too soon, and
never too soon.
That was what I was trying to find out, because I wasn't quite sure I heard it right. Thank you.
Yeah. Rhea, although she's happy to be a first responder, agrees. She would definitely like the chance to rescue someone directly, like just happened with Harkina Hunt. But wait a minute, no, never mind. But yeah,
don't think too much about it.
She agrees that you shouldn't stray too far. And then one of the boys is like, but Mommy, I want to help Shora. I want to see if she's okay.
Who is Shora, and why should we care about her?
The mom says,
I asked the mom reluctantly.
She's one of the older children, and she really goes out of her way to help the younger kids. She's really popular in this area. She spends a lot of time with them, plays with them, helps them read, shows them new things. She's so kind and sweet. Her family lives down the road a ways. It's that we're probably actually going to pass by her house on the way to to the bridge, but I don't know. I think it's too dangerous to look for survivors, but that's who she is.
Is there a specific reason you said that it's too dangerous to go for her, or is that just in general?
I mean, there's monsters everywhere. There's lightning bolts. There's fires. I'm guessing her and her family are probably dead. What I care about is saving my kid. So I wouldn't take my time or risk my life going to save anyone. I mean, if you guys want to check out her house, we're gonna be walking by it on the way to the bridge, so you can.
Yeah,
but...
you're more than welcome to bolt straight to the castle if you think that's safer, but we'll stop by there on the way. So,
well,
whether you want to stay with us or go move on, that's up to you.
I'll stick with you guys. I think that's my safest chance, but I'm just cautioning you.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on the way, as long as it's not too far out of the way, you said it's pretty much on the way there. Maybe a little bit of a detour.
Yeah, it's actually if we're heading towards Torm's blade, we're gonna pass right by it.
All right, yeah, that sounds good. That's the closest one anyway. So unless anyone else has any input, I'm just kind of going back and forth trying to sweep some information. But I think it sounds like we should head towards Torm's blade, detour towards Shora's house, and see if there's anyone there worth saving. And other than that, just get there as fast as possible and try and avoid attention. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Zoe?
Yep, sounds good.
All right. And I say, and just...
Sorry, what?
Unless we ask you to. I don't need you getting hurt again. Also, how is
Yes.
that wound doing?
Oh, she's gonna. She says that she's almost done bandaging it. If you give her another minute, she's gonna roll her only hit die.
I say, okay, well, take your time and heal that up, and we'll get moving as soon as you're good. But you stay out of it. If we need you, we'll call for you to use your trumpet or to get near someone to protect them. But I don't want you getting into melee combat with anyone because you're too valuable, and we don't need you getting injured for a couple of extra strikes on the enemies. That goes forever. You are forbidden to use your tusk attack unless it is a life and death situation or we order you to. Understood?
Whatever you say.
Yeah, that's right. Furthermore, this does not constitute a direct order. However, unless I can be convinced otherwise, every single one of these devils is, with the exception of Balrog, I pat my shield. Say he's different. Okay, he is our friend, and he is willing to help us. And we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. He's not a threat at the moment, but as far as I'm concerned, every single one of these devils is responsible for the destruction of my grove and for the destruction of the city, and they are above saving unless they beg for their life and give us a really good reason up front why not to. I'm going to kill every single devil here. So, I mean, everyone use your best judgment. If you think we shouldn't kill something, then make sure you say it out loud. Otherwise, my hammer will find its target every single time.
Well, I probably won't make the mistake of thinking we should let something live again. So,
I say not a devil. Not so long as a devil breathes in Avernus will I rest.
I said anything.
Well, I mean that is
really appreciate that.
Yeah. You're not technically breathing. You're also technically not in Avernus, and you're not really a devil right now. You're just a soul and a shield. So, for the moment, you're an exception.
I forgot about the shield.
For the moment, you're an exception, but like I said, I mean, if a devil is if an imp comes up to us, doesn't attack us, and it's like, hey, I have some information, and you guys might want to hear it. I'm not going to just immediately smack it across the room. I might listen to what it says. But if something is engaged in combat with us and proves to us that it's hostile, no mercy unless it, I'm willing to parlay. If we're halfway through the fight and it's getting beat up and it thinks it's going to lose and it tries to parlay with us, cool, we'll pause our attacks. But if it falls to the ground defeated and tries to beg for its life, no mercy. We're not doing that where we let a devil live and okay, but what's in it for me? They are evil, they are lying, they are deal makers and deal breakers, and I will not tolerate a living devil in my just to clarify that. Other creatures, case by case basis, but devils, that is an absolute no for me. With the greater good. Think of it as the greater good. If something says that it knows where, like, a missing child is, specifically for what was coming up, if we encounter a devil and it's the only one that knows where they are, it's like a waterboarding situation. We have to let it live so that we can get the information out of it. But mercy, no mercy. Consider it like that. There's a difference between gathering information and mercy. So anyway, just wanted to clear that up. Lulu, stay out of combat and kill all devils. #. And okay, anyone else? Just since we're in the middle of hell, it's important to have kind of a mutual agreement on what our plan is going forward. So anyone else have anything to add before we start walking through the streets of lightning and brimstone?
No, I'm good.
Nothing in particular.
All right, Raxlor says, all right, and he holds up his warhammer and his shield, and he says, well, let's get a move on. Lady, you look a little hurt, so you should probably, just huddle between us. We don't really have any healing magics to spare on you. But you're all right. You'll be fine. You're not bleeding, right? Just a little bit.
She's bandaged enough. She's not bleeding out. She's definitely hurt. She's actually going to say, she says, yes, but I can't fight any longer. I'm just too hurt. And she says, I want you guys to take my longbow and my silver arrows. And she offers.
So yeah, that sounds good.
Who takes her longbow?
Can anyone use it that doesn't have a good attack yet? I can't use a range.
I can use a longbow.
Do you have
one already?
Or are you using a short bow?
Yeah, I have a longbow, but I can use it.
Does your longbow? I asked the lady. Does your longbow have any sort of special power? Is it a mastercraft or any sort of enchantments on it?
No, nothing but sentiment. This is passed down from my grandfather, but it has no magic to it. It's very nicely carved, though.
I say, well, if I would like you to keep it in case you should need it in an emergency. I think that we should take the arrows, at least some of them, but I think it's best for you to hold on to it. If you're afraid that it might get lost your life and you would rather it continue on without you, then I will gladly take it off your hands and keep it safe, or someone else can, but it's up to you, but I don't think we need it.
FYI, Damien has a short bow and has no silver arrows, only regular arrows.
Well, yeah, the arrows, that's what I was saying. Are rogues proficient in longbows?
Yep. You could upgrade her from a D6 to a D8.
It is.
If Scree wanted to have the heritage longbow, she could take it from Harkina and then pass her regular longbow down to Damien.
Longbow is a martial ranged weapon. Rogues are not proficient in them.
Rogues are proficient in longbow. Or wait.
They are proficient in simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. Actually, she's not proficient in short bows either. She should have a hand crossbow. But
wait, what? Wait,
sorry. Short bow is a simple. Yeah,
you're
that
right, you're right.
That was like, what? Short bow is simple. Long bow is martial. That's why she's not using it.